Hello, 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 everyone. Let's go. Let's get this live stream started. Although I'm tired, but I did want to go on. I felt led to go on and to share a little bit about me and who I am. So, of course, my channel is a of voice for a reason with Shy. I like to welcome everyone that enters the live or watches it. I greatly appreciate it. Um, I felt led to just let people know who I am. I am an open book. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing. I'm very transparent, authentic. Nobody can tell my story better than I can. There are some that can relate, and there are some that can imagine. But I wanted to come. Hello, Sister Linda. Hey, sis, I'm here when you're ready. I'm here. Hey, 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 I'm here. Hey, hey, I'm here. I'm doing wonderful. I am, and I hope the same for you. So, of course, I am shy. I am, yes, ma'am. I am. I'm going to do just that. But my name is Shy, and I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a niece, cousin, and I am a grandmother. And I was raised. I was raised good. Um, I had some, you know, challenges in my life in the beginning that I had to go through, and I am a survivor. Um, I was, SA from the ages of 8 to 12. I told when I was 15. Um, also, that was, a big hurtful feeling as I got older because I really didn't understand it. So it took for me to go to, well, let me go backtrack. I was a teen mother. Um, I graduated on time. I worked. I went to school, and basically I did life like everybody else. It's just that everybody else's life challenges are different, or not so much challenges, just the way life is different. We all grow up differently. And when I did get, molested by a family member, that took a toll on me. I didn't know what to really think. I really didn't understand it. I didn't understand the motive of why a grown adult would do that to a child, and then on top of that, your relative. But I'm good. I'm good now. There were several obstacles that I had to take. Um, I've been into relationships. One, my children's father, from high school, and we had got married. And we had our three children. Things went left, and that's when I began to numb my pain. I was introduced to cocaine. I had never done it a day of my life, but I was introduced to it, and I had denied it. Like I didn't want it. First of all, I didn't even know what they were doing. I mean, I seen the plate and then them doing, the whole thing, how it goes, but it was new to me. And then they had offered me, and I said no. The second time I went around, I said no. The third time I went around, I said no. Hello, BB. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I just wanted to do a little live. It's going to go a little different. This is just what I felt led to do. You know, um, and this is what I'm doing, if that makes sense. I know it may seem like I'm like all over scatterbrain or all over the place or whatever the case may be, but I'm learning and I have to keep practicing, and I will get it eventually where it would just flow. It's easier to hit a panel versus doing it yourself. So was I ashamed? Yeah. Did I understand it? No. It affected trust levels. I really didn't know how to be. I I made it. That is what I can say. I am a survivor, and I'm very victorious from being a survivor. So I did, dabble in the drugs. I have no problem with sharing that. I did, I had done pills. I had done, like I said, the cocaine, and then I was introduced to the heroin. And then once I got introduced to that, that's when my life took a different direction. I thank God that I am still here to be able to tell this story. Um, because I had an infection in my heart, and so I had to have open heart surgery. I suffered a stroke. I have many TIAs, which are mini strokes. They come and go. Um, I do go see a therapist. My mental health, and I have no problem with it. At first, when you would say go to mental health, I didn't really know how that would look, and it was kind of fearful because you don't know what to expect. And for me, I didn't know if it was like being how the TV made it look. So I didn't really want to. Not so much I didn't really want to go, but I didn't know what to expect. Once I got there, and I got a therapist, and we connected, and the tools that were given to me was a blessing, and I used those tools. I'm sorry. I will look at the comments, everyone. I will. I'm a work in progress, but I do appreciate everyone that is showing up. Um, I am a loving person. I will be honest and say that before I went through what I went through in my life, that changed me. I was a little, maybe not a little. If my family was in here, they'd be like, might want to rephrase that. But I was a little smarter. I was I was different and totally different than what I was, but not all the way. But I didn't care. That was my attitude from being hurt. That my trust, I just felt like I just kept being hurt from be as a little girl, from my teenage years, my when you get out of teenage years. Um, so my heart got cold, or I hardened my heart, or I put a guard up so that nobody can hurt me again, if that makes sense. Because I did not want to have to experience any more type of hurt that I have already been through, and it was all different types of hurting. And I mean, it's woo, it's deep. Um, it's hard for me to trust. I do put my guard up. I learned with my therapist to start boundaries. In the beginning, I didn't know what that looked like. But as I continued to talk and open up to her, even if it was just through tears, she allowed me. And then we talked about that. I love the connection that, even though everybody has their opinions about, having a therapist or whatever, or they consider you whatever, that, hey, let them do it. It's better to have it than not, especially when you're going through or have been through um, a lot of trauma, hurt, pain, and you really don't know how to turn that. For me, let me speak for me. I didn't know how to really, the love that I had on the inside, I didn't really know how to bring that forth. I was just like closed in, or, I was cool. But bringing it forth, even with my children, like, I wanted to, like, on the inside of me, wanted to, like, embrace and love, like, I had seen parents with their children and they would go up and, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I went through that period in my life. But I sorry about that. Uh, uh, Sorry about that. But it it was hard, and I would see my cousins, how they were, and it was just hard. I didn't know how to. I did the discipline part of it easier versus the embracing and cuddling and all that. That was way easier for me, and I didn't like it. I didn't. I didn't like that I couldn't show the love that I really had on the inside of me. It was like something was like blocking it. Something was keeping it from, happening. And as I say that, that something was me because I couldn't, I don't know. I don't know. And I know that I don't know is not an answer. It was challenging. Um, and that sounds awful, I guess. But my children knew that I loved them. Even though, I may not have been able all of the time. And when I would discipline them, it hurt me because it was easier for me because I was just so angry, and it wasn't their fault that I was angry. And the discipline, like I could, what I mean, catch that quick. Like I would catch it being quick, being, being able to get on them or get after them or whatever the case may be. And that part of my life I did not like. But that was a trial that I had to go through, and I went through it. And as I was saying with the drugs, I had an infection in my heart, and I had fell and hit my head and was bleeding on the brain. So I have lesions on my left side of the brain, um, like spots, but I get them checked and they're still good. They're not. They haven't. It's not alarming. I'm good. And when I was doing that stuff, I didn't even. I knew it wasn't me. I mean, when I was doing the cocaine the first time. I literally like got on my knees and was like, because I wanted it to go away. I wanted the high to go away because I don't know. I was having anxiety, panic, all the above, to where I had to call the paramedics. Yeah, I had to do that, and then it transferred over to the the heroin, and then getting sick. And they had told me, like if you didn't come into the hospital when I did, that I would not have been here. And that's how bad the infection was in my mitral valve. So I know that a lot of people go through a lot of things. Everybody has their own thing that they went through, even if it's not drugs. It's just everybody has something that they went through in their life. Possibly, there may be some that's not. I don't know, but I had went to school a couple of years ago, and I wanted to be a certified peer recovery um, person to help people that are out there, and they don't know which way to go. They don't know. They just don't know what they don't know, and it gets like that. I did do. I went to a couple NA and AA, but by the grace of God, I did not have to do that. I had a big support system, and I think everyone that I had to support me to just be there and talk to them and all the above. Um, then I started my journey. December the 9th. December the 9th of 2025 will be 10 years that I've been clean. And I thank God for that. I thank God for the, I may not be at 10 yet, but I'm where I am and my journey. I've always been raised in the church, um, on both sides of my mom and my dad's side of the family. We were always, brought up in church. And, you at some point in in people's life, you go through where you can be brought up in the church, but it never leaves you, but you may leave it. But God welcomes you back. We repent daily. We ask for forgiveness. I don't like division. Like, as I've been on my journey, I just notice a lot of things. And do I still have some work to do with me? Yes. Yes, I do. I have a lot of work to do. But I thank God that I'm not where I used to be. Like, I'm a whole different person. I can love. Now, I will say that for a minute there in 2020, well, we have loved ones that we have lost. But when I lost my mommy, and then 9 months later, I lost my granny, who was my mommy. She took the place of my mom because my mom wanted to do her thing. So my granny was our mother. And I do thank God that during that time that she was in her hospice and dementia, I thank God that I was able to be there and help my grandmother. I didn't know that I didn't know. You just don't know what you just don't know. I wasn't a nurse. I wasn't a nurse's aide that was, But then when my aunt asked me, I'm like, yep. And I just did it. It's just like a grown up that you just take care of like a baby. So that's. But God knew when they put that pacemaker on her because we wasn't, they had called the family in a couple times, but he knew that I had went to the restroom, not to use it or anything, but I had went into the restroom and the restroom was just right off the kitchen. And all I know is I heard my cousin. He just, man, I heard it. And I just had to, keep getting stronger. And then, my mom, who, my mom who's married to my dad now, um, she's been married, but my mom, she's had to battle cancer. And so she had rung the bell the first time, but then a rare case came, and it's been hard. It's been hard on all of us, but we are fighting with her. We are. I worry about my siblings. I worry about you know, my daddy, and I worry about my mom because we thought that, we got through this. But we know God got it. My mom's halfway through, and she's going to come out of it. She's going to ring that bell again. She is. I was raised by my father for a huge part of my life. Well, he was in the picture with mommy, but then, you know, things happened, and mommy wanted to do her, and so they got a divorce. And then my dad got remarried. And it was just, oh man, this is so embarrassing to be speechless. Um, I just thank God that I am where I am today. I've met so many wonderful people. Um, on YouTube. I have a lot of family and friends on Facebook that I grew up with, but I had to leave from there because it was just like I was just seeing like people going through, because they were losing their loved ones. And, I lost my aunt. There were three girls. It was my granny, my aunt. I had two aunts after that. And I had already lost the middle sister, my aunt. And then it was granny. And then right after that, it was my aunt in January. So they come in threes. At least with our family, it does. Pregnancies and all the above. But I love hard. I love hard. And I'm not perfect. And I can admit that. And I'm okay with that. Because I'm still growing and I'm still learning as I go. So, I can tell my story. I don't have a problem with telling my story. Because the key thing is that I want people to make sure that they watch your children, even with family. I became so, I probably was over the top, but that's all I knew. All I knew was to be over the top and just, like overprotective, just making sure, like, I had two boys and a girl. My daughter was a miracle child. I had lost two children. Um, Meaning, they had passed before they even, came, were born, basically. They were born, but then they passed because they didn't weigh enough. The doctor said that if my daughter could have been like at least 13 ounces, that she could have probably, lived. They were Jasmine and Jason. That's what I named them. I'm real big on names and meaning and what the meaning of everything is. And I did have my channel called Voice of Reason, but then I was like, I just added, voice for. I have a voice for a reason, and I am, here to serve while I'm here on on in this earth because this is temporary. My sister Esty, Pushing the Pen, I love that song. I do. And I met so many people just on YouTube, and we're a family. And I love that for us. I'm all about trying to, I don't do well with division. I love peace. But I know that I can't, it's not my job to try and make things happen for anyone. I mean, even in my own family. I just know that, I got to get my life together. Why is did my sound go down? Sorry about that. I know a lot of people are, a little more advanced, but I had a call. So I'm going to go through the comments just to take a little break real quick. You're good. Thank you. If that was for me, thank you. Me too. Or y'all might be having a conversation. Shy, is it okay? You learning practice makes perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I promise you. I'm gonna get it, Linda. Exactly. What happened to you wasn't your fault, sis. Yeah, I know it. The one thing about that is that it is so amazing that God allowed me to be able to ask my uncle why he did that. And I said I don't want the energy to shift or anything. I just wanted to ask. And his answer wasn't, but I took it because I didn't want it to be anymore. And then like the following year, I got to asking another question, and then he apologized. But I had already forgiven him. I forgiven, my ex-husband because I had to do that for the journey that I was, going to be on. So that's what I had to do. I had forgiven them both. Then I had the honor of being able to ask my uncle. Then I was able to ask him another question, and he apologized. But he did get in trouble for it. He did admit to it. But at the end of the day, you can forgive, but that part of it's like a scar that won't leave. Thank you. Hey, Essie, I'm late. I'm going through the comments because I gotta learn how to multitask. Multitask. Bless all you. Bless you. I love y'all more. You just don't know. Thank you. And hi, India. I'm hurrying, guys. Okay, I'm hurrying. I am. I promise. If that was for me, I love you more. Hello, Sister Valerie. Yes, we do. I can. Essie allowed me on her platform to hit her panel, and if I could be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. But at the time, we were talking. There was a topic. There were topics that were being discussed, and like I be watching all the stuff that be going on YouTube when it comes to the industry, and I think it was around the Cassie and Diddy before the trial, and I didn't used to like to hear my voice when I would hear the video, and I would skip by it. That might be a little weird, but I got over it. Hey, sis, if that was for me, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the record, okay, I am a crybaby, okay? It doesn't take much. I'm a very emotional person. Thank you, BB. Yes, Essie, we are. My family's up in the building. I have a wall up to me. I have a wall up to me. Is that like a guard? If you're still in here, Essie, is that like a guard? Or I love you all. I was busy, but I wanted to come in and say hi. Have a blessed night. You too, Valerie. Love you. Now I thought you had a question. That's fine. I know you're always busy. Do your thing. Thanks for coming by. If you happen to hear it. This was side. Don't forget. Thank you, Essie. I appreciate that. I just want to be a help to someone, you know? I don't trust people with kids. People are so sick out here, you know? Mm. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I love you, Miss Sister Valerie. I love you. And I'm praying for you. Thank you. Shy, just know we love you and you are safe now. We hope. Trouble. Yeah, he did. He admitted it at the time. He had to get in trouble. I mean, he got in trouble. Hey, brother D. Ham, if you're here. Thanks for the wins. Oh, I gotta get all my family one. I thought BB had one. Is that BB coming? Okay, I'm gonna do that. Hold on. No. Sister Linda, I don't see no we'll be driving and listening from the skybox. Okay, brother. I do have some things that I wanna I just wanted to, give a little condensed version of who Shy is. Hey, Koala, thanks for coming. Yeah, December 9th, it'll be 10 years. I thank God. You never know what you're doing when you're doing it. When you're trying to numb a pain and you're hurting yourself all in the same breath. Wow. Yeah, he's one of the reactors that react to music. He's so funny. He is. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the prayers. I need them. And I'm praying for everyone too. I pray for everyone. Even enemies if I have any. I just pray for everyone. Please put it in the chat. What? I know, but thank you, but I don't want to be getting up here. Sometimes I'll be like, why do these tears just be like, you could be talking and then, I don't know. So, what was the question, Sister Linda? Or is it in the box? And I'm just taking too long. Yes, it was for you, Shy. Thank you. Thank you. Shy, what advice would you give someone in your position, young children, or adult because you went through a lot. The advice that I would give a child is to always and please do not be scared. Please, I wish even though he told me that what he was doing to me he was allowed to do, but I wasn't allowed to tell nobody. I wish that I could have been like my cousins, because my cousin, that's why I didn't understand. Like, what about me did? Because I have a lot of girl cousins that were before me, and I wouldn't wish that on them. But I didn't understand, like, what about me made you, like, I know my mom had you watch me and my brother, but I didn't understand, like, for you, I don't want to go through that because I'm not about to cry because it, it's sickening. But the advice that I would give them, tell somebody, I don't care what they say, they're going to get in trouble. They'll hold that over your head. Tell somebody, talk to somebody. Adult, same thing. Don't hold it in. The more you stuff, when you stuff inside of you and not like deal with it, you're going to explode because you're not dealing with it. So stuffing, 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 because you trying to, like get past. No, that's making it worse. Deal with it at that time. If you can't do it at that time, do it around that time. Cool off, but deal with it. But I urge everybody that has any children that are, I don't care. I was 8, but like the Epstein thing, them little girls was like 13, 14. So the age doesn't matter. And, the boys, it's just a traumatic experience. And they, mm, it's sickening because for a long time I used to wonder, like, dang, I wonder if that never happened to me, how I would be. And I did that for a long time. Like, I wonder if that never ever happened to me, how would I be? How wish I be? But I do know that God would not put nothing on you that you cannot bear. Even though I was a little girl and from the ages of 8 to 12. And the thing about it is, this is even if a person tries to grape another person. The thing about it is, when you're young, my age young, or even you can even be 13 and 14, and probably have a cycle. Like that guy or girl is bigger than you, and say for instance, if my uncle tried to, since I'm grown and I know, if my uncle ever tried to like put it in, it would be a dead giveaway. He didn't want that, obviously. He thought enough, even though he had beer, he thought enough that he couldn't do nothing. Well, I fought him too the first time because I didn't know what was going on. But the last time, it's going to sound a little sick. The last time that he did it, we were at a family cookout, and we were at my uncle's house, my uncle and my aunt and my cousin's house, and he told me, he would always like initial, like hand wise, he wouldn't be like to go upstairs or nothing like that, or go over there or go here. He would always like notion me to go where he wanted me to go. With fear and all, he didn't care because he was under the influence. But that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for you to do that to anybody. And I always used to wonder, like, because he ended up having a girl. And I didn't know how to ask her. So one day I mustered up some courage and then I did ask her. I asked her and she said he almost did, but her mom walked in. And I loved babies before I had mine. I still love babies, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, when I was young, I loved babies. I loved doing hair, I braided it, and all that kind of stuff. But I love babies, and she was a baby. And I went and spent the night because I was getting to spend the night with my little cousin. And I would be able to, like, I just had like a live baby doll, but let's just say that. And next thing you know, me and his daughter, my cousin, we're in the front room, and he goes to wake me up. But then he almost gets caught because then the baby mom, she ended up, you know, moving, and so then he hurried up and went in the restroom. But then at the cookout, when he was doing what he was doing, and then the white stuff, I'm just saying that he was doing what he was doing until he did it to the white stuff, got on my leg and everything. That was the last time. I didn't even, at the time, I didn't know what it was. So I want. My dad just didn't play. Like, me and my siblings, we weren't allowed to do a lot. Did I already do that one? If you have another question, yes, you probably already typed it. Yeah, I'm behind. Here we go. Okay, let me see. Yes, it was for you. What did I do? Oh, right there. Thank you. You are doing amazing. It gets better live by live. My Sagittarius twin, yes, my brother. Thank you. I'm trying. I don't want to be stumbling over words, but I don't care. This is trial and error. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Pushing the pen. Look deep. Back to the skybox. 30 here. Okay. Thank you guys. I even gotta get used to that. I love all of you more. I promise you. Those aren't listen. People throw this love word around like hot potato, like it's just really a 4 letter word. But I do. And even if I haven't met any of you guys in person, I still love you guys. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, we just got a bond. We got a bond just virtually, you know? Big shout out to Essie Berry and Brother D Ham. This means a lot to Shy. Yes, it does. I appreciate everyone. I promise. Blessings to you. Get to work. Am I done? Okay. Now, I had, we're going to see how this works. Okay. Hold on. I did that wrong. I, for, I forgot to share my screen. Okay, let me do this. Share screen. Now this is my dad, my daddy. I mean, I still call him daddy, but um, this is a song that Okay, I'm back. Sometimes you just, music. I love music. I love music. So, okay, you said you didn't hear the song. Can you hear me? Okay. Linda said, I don't know if you was ready to move on. Yeah, we can move on. Um, that's a part of the and more. Um, I just wanted to get that out. I'm a little different than, and that's okay. Um, what did I think about the trolls on the YouTube street? I don't see the purpose. They may have a purpose, but I don't see the purpose of being that or what they call they got so many names. They got trolls, they got clip farming, but I think that's for like the streamers. And then I don't know what they would get out. I don't know what they're getting out of it. Like to go on a person's page and then just be in their comments and then like agitating the people in the live by just being rude and ignorant. I mean, it's not getting them far, in my opinion. And you would expect that from somebody that's not an adult, even a teenager. So the trolls on the street. I mean, I heard what was said about Essie, and I don't know what or why Sparkle gets it from it, because that's who I heard it from. But that's him. I mean, it is what it is. I had to learn real quick by being on this internet that I don't have to prove who I am. Um, I did 3 individual lives of addressing, like, going back and forth, and that's not what I'm finna do. I'm not. I'm not about to go back and forth. I said what I said. I know what I am. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Think what you want. Think, feel, say what you want, and it is what it is. But while you focus on anybody other than yourself, then that's a big deal. And what would a troll get out of? And I'm speaking, in general. What? Because I've seen it in other chats where they are like going at the the host of the live, where they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm not for sure what they get out of it, or they can go and do their own separate live, and then they like keep doing the same thing over and over again. But everybody's different. I know that once they do it, they know that it doesn't get them anywhere, and that they're just looking for attention. So that's why I called. Can you hear me, baby? Is she still in chat? That's what I was at. I gotta get off the street. Ask Didi, can she hear you? I gotta get on. Okay, yeah, get off. And she where's my phone at? Okay. All right. Let me get off. Okay, BB can hear me. So, well, he didn't hear anything that I said. But what do I think about the trolls? It doesn't get him anywhere. I mean, it actually like is it don't get them nowhere. I was trying to find the correct word to say. I don't know what they get off of it. I don't know what they get off of. Because I've heard from other platforms where they be like, um, "Are you just trying to get clout?" And that's not anybody that has been in contact with Essie Berry, because that's how I met a lot of. That's how I met all you guys, and everyone that is no longer, with Essie, that's fine too. But I'm not speaking on those individuals as far as when I say that people are you trying to clip farm, and I've heard Krishan say that word, and I'm like, okay, they got new words now. But I'm sorry you didn't hear that song. I thought you heard it. I don't. I'm still working it, but I said I'll just go live. Even if I gotta go from my phone, I will go live. Cause I have to be consistent. That was one of the things that I learned watching those videos. Be consistent, find your niche. And I like to be inspiration, motivation, be kind. Quit being quit acting like y'all people. There are so many people that feel like they run this world. And I actually was going to, I am going to at some point or another, and this goes to the industry. Oh, hold on. I might be able to do it. Hold on. This is what Fantasia had to say. Now, let me know if you can hear it. If you can hear it, put a one in the chat. And I don't even like saying that because I done heard so many people say it. I didn't have this issue when I was playing it earlier. Come on. Let her tell the people. Here. Are you serious? Not for sure what's going on. Oh, not wants to do it. Well, it says Fantasia warns, I guess, some Gabby Simone about the industry with American Idol. And I'm not for sure why when I put it up there does it want to work. Mm, well, can you hear it? What? Weird. Maybe it might come on, but she did have a real good message. Well, I'm not for sure if you guys could hear that, but she was basically telling a young lady that, in a nutshell, don't be about, how many records you can sell and this, that, another in this industry because basically the industry is wicked and they have to go through so much and they really aren't owners of themselves because when you're signed to a label, from what I'm understanding, like I don't know if they like front you so much money ahead of time and then you do whatever you're supposed to do and then you come back. I'm not for sure, but from the looks of it, that's what it looks like. And like uh, like R. Kelly, they made an example out of him. Diddy, I think they're just putting. They have to make it look. This is my opinion. They have to make it look like, oh, this is what we got to do because they already humiliated him during the trial. So if he since he didn't get that RICO charge, the main charge, and he got two of them out of five, so they got to make it look good. But here's another kicker: do we know if they're in the jail, or is that the picture they paint to us? Because sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I feel like that, especially when and I don't even really. I mean, back in the day, that kind of music. But this music out here now that they be rapping, I'm not into it. But I never listened to Kendrick Lamar until him and Drake was going back and forth. And that was when, at the end, Drake wanted to sue the record label. But the record label that he was suing, because he was trying to say defamation, and that they were pushing the song out to make it be what it wasn't, but it made it big, not like us. And he has secrets, but with money brings power. So when you have money, you got power, and when you got power, you can just do whatever you want to do. I mean, look at who our leader is of this country. There are so many photos of him, photos, videos, all the above of him. And he wants us to make it like we dumb, and we're not. We're far from dumb. I didn't like what he said about his daughter. I didn't. That was just some old uncomfortable stuff. But I may look at it a little harder than, or receive it a little different than others. That's just what, and how she was sitting on his lap. I get it. That's her dad, but I don't know. Mm-mm. But I do know that I'm going to be doing some. We're going to cover topics like that, but we're also going to cover topics. I mean, go over things where I'm from, because that's what resonates with me. So, and also we're going to talk about, because you know how the DOJ said they had Epstein's list, they had Martin Luther King's list, and they had I can't think of the third person right off, but they put out a thing about Martin Luther King too. But I don't understand that if y'all have a video of what, because the tapings y'all got, we seen that. We seen the tapings that y'all had when um, Martin Luther King, which his name is Michael, but his dad said that he didn't want that name. He wanted his name to be Martin. So that's what it is. And she named him Michael after the archangel. That's what she told her husband. But being submissive to her husband, she just, let it go. And before Michael Jackson left us, he said at I don't know if you want to call it a press conference or whatever it was, he was like, everything they told you in the history books was a lie. Bill Cosby said it to us. Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, um, Martin Luther King. That when there's a girl named Boo, she calls him Mike because his name's Michael. We was fine. We were rich. We had the Freedman Bank. We had money. They were spying on us to see how we operate to take over. And that's just what happened. That's just like them saying, like, if you can go back, if anybody can go back 2, 3, 4, if you're lucky, generations, you'll know where your genealogy comes from. Not spitting in that tube, because that's 0.0.011.1. So we'll be discussing that, and that's kind of like Educational Friday. That's what she called it. But I've learned a lot, and she's not the only one. But we're called to love everyone. We are. But everybody, they're not on that court. So, I mean, you got to answer to it for yourself. I hate to sound long winded, but I do want to let everyone know that when my speech may sound like a little whatever, and um, it may seem like I'm taking a long time to get to the point, it is all because I am trying to focus, and not only that, the stroke played a big significance when I was bleeding on the brain, and then it caused my whole left side to be weak and numb. So I'm not a fast talker. I'm gonna try, but then I'll be stumbling over my words. Then you won't understand what I'm trying to say. But if you get me mad enough, it's a different ball game. All right, let me read the comments and then we'll go. I enjoyed everyone coming out. I appreciate it. Yes, I agree. So, did I answer? What is it? I need to get my glasses. We all going to be safe. Thanks, sis. Uh, yeah, you're welcome. Good night. God bless. Good night. Thank you. But I do appreciate everyone coming out that did. I'm fine with, I could be up here by myself, but I do appreciate everyone that came out. I will do better. If I knew how to really, really do a premiere, I would do that so that I can, do what I have to do as far as practicing. But at the end of the day, I know that I would still get up here because it's a little nervous, just a little. Um, but I'm doing it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to serve, and I'm going to, spread the word, spread love, spread encouragement, spread positivity. There's enough negativity going on in this world, but that's why we are in this world and not of this world. And when it comes to the people that have money, I for me, I don't consider them celebrities because they're people like you and I. They just were picked to be able to do what they do, and um, some of it, some of them just, they choose the money because they're so in love with it, and so if you're so in love with the money, then you don't love God because you can't serve two masters. So, with that being said, I love everyone and I thank you. I do apologize for, not being quick on my feet, but I will be better. And as long as I'm consistent, and I know I don't have to apologize, but it's just me. But I love y'all and you have a blessed night. Thank you, BB.